We have seen the types of inflation on the basis of speed. On the basis of speed, inflation can be categorized into creeping inflation, walking inflation, running inflation, and galloping inflation. Next, let us see on the basis of costs. On the basis of costs. So, on the basis of costs, you have three types of inflation: demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, and wage spiral inflation. So, let us see demand pull inflation. Demand and supply play a crucial role in deciding the inflation levels. That is, in any market, demand and supply play a vital role in determining the price. So these two are the market forces, demand and supply, because they are the main reasons to decide the price level in the market. So demand and supply play a crucial role in deciding the inflation level. For example, if the demand is high, if the demand is high for a product and supply is low, the price of the product increases. I will just explain this with an example. Okay, every day 100 cycles are coming to the market. 100 cycles are coming to the market. Okay, suddenly many people feel that to stay fit they have to do cycling every day. So there is a mad rush for cycles. Everybody goes to the showroom and everybody starts demanding cycle. Overnight they cannot increase the supply of the cycles. So there are 100 cycles in the market, but 200 people want to buy cycles. So immediately what do? They increase the cost of the cycle. So there is an increase in the price level. This is because of the demand. There is an increase in the demand for a product, whereas the supply is very low. So what happens? There is an increase in the price level. So for instance, if the demand is high for a product and supply is low, likewise, even in the fish market or in the vegetable market, if the demand for a particular commodity is more and the supply is less, suddenly you can see your mother saying, "Today I went to the market, the price of onion is 60 rupees." Then immediately someone might ask, "Why is it so much? Yesterday it was sold only for 10 rupees. Why is it sold for 60 rupees?" Then they say, "No, the supply has been reduced. Because of the COVID crisis, transports are not entering into Chennai. There is a ban for transport movement. So the stock of onion is very less in the market. So they have increased the prices." Okay, so when the demand is more and the supply is less, then the price of the product increases. This is shown in the diagram here. Uh, there is a low supply. There is a low supply. See, the number of products in the market is very minimal. All the counters are empty. Okay, or everything is sold out. So the supply is very, very few. But the demand is high. More number of people are going to the supermarket to buy the product. Immediately, the store owner increases the price level. There is a rise in the price level. This is only called as the demand pull inflation. The supply is very minimal, whereas the demand is more. Therefore, there is a rise in the price level. Such an inflation is called as a demand pull inflation. Demand and supply play a crucial role in deciding the inflation levels in the society at all points of time. For instance, if the demand is high for a product and supply is low, the price of the product increases. Hope you understood it. இப்போ ஃபெஸ்டிவல் சீசன்லலாம் யோசித்து பாருங்களேன், பூ விலை வந்து ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கும். 10 ரூபாய்க்கு விற்கிற பூ, மல்லிப்பூ 50 ரூபான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஏன்? ஏன்னா அங்கே டிமாண்ட். ஃபெஸ்டிவல் தீபாவளி வந்துடுச்சு, எல்லாருக்கும் பூ வாங்கணும். பூஜைக்கு பூ வேணும், தலையில் வைக்க பூ வேணும், எல்லாத்துக்கும் பூ வேணும். அப்போ டிமாண்ட் ஃபார் ஃப்ளவர் இஸ் மோர். ஆனால் அதே நம்பர் ஆஃப் செடிங்க தான் இருக்கு எல்லா இடத்துலையும். அப்போ அதே லெவலுக்கு தான் என்ன வரும்? பூ மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வரும். ஆனா, மக்களுக்கு நெறைய பூ வாங்கணும். ஏன்னா, இது வந்து ஃபெஸ்டிவல் சீசன். அப்போ உடனே என்ன சொல்றாங்க? வேணும்னா வாங்கிக்கோமா. நேத்து வரைக்கும் ரூ. 10க்கு தான் வித்தேன். ஆனா, இப்போ வந்து பண்டிகை காலமா இருக்கிறதுனால நான் என்ன பண்றேன்? ரூ. 50க்கு விக்கிறேன். பூவே வரல. மார்க்கெட்ல பூவே கிடையாது. இவ்வளவு தான் வந்தது. அதனால என்ன பண்றேன்? நான் வந்து 50 ரூபாய்க்கு விற்கிறேன், வேணும்னா வாங்கு, வேண்டானா இடத்த மாத்தி போயிட்டே இரு. So the demand is more, the supply is less. It happens for coconuts, the banana, all these products, fish, vegetables, any product you take. If the demand is more and if the supply is less, naturally there will be an increase in the price level. Next one is cost push inflation. The prices of the cost of production, the factors increases the price of the good. High cost of raw materials. Suppose they want to produce something, a commodity. It looks like a light or some machine. Okay, for that they need raw materials. The price of the raw materials is very high. Then to produce these goods, you need laborers. So the wages paid to the laborers is also high. So the cost of the raw material is high, the wages paid to the raw material is high. Naturally, there will be increase in the cost of production of the good. And when they sell it, they cannot sell it at a lower price. Definitely, they have to increase the price level. So there is a rise in the price of the product. When the cost of raw materials and other input rises, inflation results. Okay, so when the cost of raw materials and other input rises, inflation results. So increase in wages paid to the laborer also leads to inflation. So when there is an increase in the wage paid to the labor, there will be an increase in the price level. Are you able to understand this? The cost of raw materials. Suppose you imagine dosa. What are the raw materials? You need urd dal, you need rice, you need salt. Okay, if the cost of rice, urd dal and salt increases, naturally what will happen when you go to a hotel? Dosa sold for 50 rupees will be sold for 75 rupees because the cost of the raw materials has increased. Then the hotel owner will say there is an increase in the price of the dosa because we did not get any cook to prepare dosa. We had to pay more for his wages. So naturally the price of the dosa has increased. So high cost of raw materials and the increase in the wages paid to the laborer will naturally increase the price of the product. Then you have the wage price spiral. Spiral means it goes on and on and on. There is an increase in the wage. There is an increase in the wages of the laborers. Naturally, there will be increase in the price. When the prices increases, again the laborers will demand for more wages. So there will be increase in the wages, which will increase the prices. There will be increase in wages. There will be increase in price. So this is only called as wage price spiral. So wage price spiral is used to explain the cause and effect relationship between rising wages and rising prices of inflation. So first we saw the demand pull inflation, then the cost push inflation, then the wage spiral inflation. Still we have the other types of inflation on the basis of inducement. So inflation on the basis of inducement. First you have currency inflation. What is currency inflation? When there is an excess supply of money in circulation, that is, if the quantity of money in circulation in an economy is more, that is, if all of them are having lot of money in their hand, naturally the prices will also increase. So this is only called as currency inflation. The excess supply of money in circulation causes a rise in the price level. Next one is credit inflation. Credit. Okay, buying goods for credit, that is purchasing everything on loan only is called as credit. So credit is easily available. Every shopkeeper or every bank says you can buy the product, you need not pay the money. You can pay the money at the later stage. That is only called as credit. When banks are liberal in lending credit, the money supply increases and thereby rising the price level. Credit is cheaply available. That is, it is cheap money policy. The rate of interest is very, very low and they are able to buy credit very easily. What happens? People will try to buy credit and they will buy goods. Okay, so this is only called as credit inflation. When banks are liberal in lending credit, the money supply increases, thereby increasing the prices. Next one is profit induced. The word itself says profit. If the entrepreneur wants to make more profit, he will naturally increase the price of the good. Okay, so when the firms aim at higher profit, they fix the prices with higher margin. Okay, They fix the price with higher margins, so prices go up. This is only called as profit-induced inflation. When the firms aim at higher profit, they want to make more profit, so they fix the prices higher. Okay, to make more profit, they fix the prices at a higher rate, and hence this inflation happens. So there is an increase in the price. This is only called as profit-induced inflation. Then this one, I skipped out this, deficit-induced inflation. What is deficit-induced? What do you mean by deficit? An economy faces deficit balance when the expenditure is greater than the revenue. Expenditure is more, but the revenue is less. So, in order to meet this imbalance, the government starts printing currencies. Okay, the Reserve Bank of India starts printing currency to tide over the crisis of deficit. What do you mean by deficit? Expenditure is more, but the revenue is less. So there is a shortfall of money. So immediately the government or the banks tend to print more and more currency. So there is an inflation. So this deficit induced inflation means there is a deficit. So they are printing more and more money, which naturally increases the prices sold in the market. The deficit budget is generally financed through printing of currency by the central bank. As a result, price increases. This is only called as deficit-induced inflation. Next is scarcity-induced inflation. What do you mean by scarcity-induced inflation? Scarcity of goods happens either due to fall in production or due to hoarding and black marketing. Sometimes there will be a scarcity in the goods. Okay, this may happen due to the production. Sometimes they might reduce the production. Instead of producing 100 units, they might be producing 10 units. There may be shortfall in the production, or people might start hoarding. Hoarding means the பதுக்குறது வீட்லயே என்ன பண்றது பொருட்களை பதுக்கி வைக்கிறது. So that is only called as scarcity. Even before the COVID crisis, when the government announced the lockdown, everybody was madly rushing to the shops to buy everything. They wanted to store rice, wheat, oil, whatever essentials. They all wanted to store everything. That is only called as hoarding. Okay, buying something more than we require. Then the government said, please don't get into panic buying. Don't panic. Don't think that you will not get all the goods. We will be supplying the goods. So stay calm and buy whatever is necessary for your family. Don't try to buy more and more and more and more and store everything. When you start buying like this, what happens? There is a panic among the people. So there is a scarcity of goods in the market. People who desperately want the good, they will not be able to buy the good because someone else has already bought everything and they have gone home. So this is only called as scarcity induced inflation. Scarcity of goods happen either due to fall in the production. Sometimes during the rainy season, it will be flooded, so there will be fall in the production. If there is a war, there will be a fall in the production. And moreover, there will be hoarding and black marketing. This also pushes up the prices. This type of inflation, the scarcity-induced inflation, happened in Venezuela in the year 2018, very recently. It happened in Venezuela. The last one is tax-induced inflation. What do you mean by tax-induced inflation? That is, the government is charging more taxes on goods. When you buy a product for 100 rupees, the government says you have to pay 20% tax. So naturally, the cost of the product will become 110. So there is a rise in the product because there is a increase in the tax. This is only called as tax-induced inflation. Increase in the indirect taxes like excise duty, customs duty, and sales tax may lead to rise in the prices. For example, nowadays you are paying more for petrol and diesel. This is tax-induced inflation because the government is charging more tax. In the world level, the price of crude oil has come down. But our Indian government, what are they doing? They're taxing more. They're charging us more. So this is called as tax-induced inflation. So because of the taxes, the prices of petrol and diesel has gone up. So naturally, when the essentials like petrol and diesel go up, the transportation cost becomes more. So when goods are carried from one place to another, the lorry driver charges more. So all the charges will be put in the commodities only. So this is only called as tax-induced inflation. So in this class, what all did we see? First, we saw what is inflation. We saw the meaning. We saw the definition. Then we saw the types of inflation on the basis of speed, 4 types. Then we saw inflation based on causes. We saw the demand pull inflation, the cost push inflation, and the wage spiral inflation. Lastly, we saw other types of inflation on the basis of inducement. On the basis of inducement, we saw currency inflation, credit inflation, deficit-induced inflation, profit-induced inflation, scarcity-induced inflation, and tax-induced inflation.